Hey, hello, it's me, Shadow Mute, and I'm here with a little tutorial for Pokehaan Craft 2, where recently Kian has added bigger reactors, which is the best way to get power generation. It's just a little funky, so if you want to help out the channel and help me out, I would love it if you watch till the end. And if you want to help the channel even further, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and you can also support the channel even one step further beyond by becoming a channel member, also in the description. Now, let's get into this. Firstly, is that we have a bunch of new things to mess with, being a reactor itself. Now these are a 3x3x3 minimum multi-block structure, so if you drop them down like this, that is your base level. Just a bunch of reactor casings, that's all you need. The middle needs to be a fuel rod, which will be where all the fuel goes. On top of that needs to be a control rod to keep the control so it doesn't overheat or anything. You need a terminal, you need an access port, and you need a power tap. After that, everything else can generally be a casing. And this should, once you finish it, build out the reactor. Yep. So now this is fully functioning. So this will generate a ton of power by itself. You have to put into it uranium, which there is seeds for it, but I don't think the seeds work right now. So we just grab a bunch of uranium. Just click it. Yep. Uranium seeds right there. Now, you can also... Well, I guess this is really the only way you can get it. You know, aside... Because there's no... Oh, is there really not a recipe for it? Wait. Oh. I guess Kian forgot to add a recipe for uranium. So... Wait. Yeah, there's no recipe for uranium. So that's probably going to get fixed at some point. But that is a way to generate them for now. I don't know if it got addressed in the book. Ah, yeah, that was not... It just doesn't work. Okay. Fair enough. Still should make them just in case. Stockpile essences. It'll get added at some point. So what you have to do is you just go over to the insert. It'll be manual eject waste. Input, output. So that means you need two of them. One for the output of waste, and one for the input of the outputting waste, outputting fuel, auto eject waste. That's all you gotta do, because what happens is once you start putting in the... Let me just get a chest real fast, because you do need to have some form of hoppers or importers, exporters, you know, from refined storage. So we're just going to use a hopper just for demonstration. I recommend you use exporters. Throw that there. It throws in the uranium, which goes in here, and then we turn it on. This now generates upwards of about 864 RF a tick, which is insane. That is faster than every single generator you have access to right now, but this is the minimum. Let me show you one of the bigger ones. Alright, here we go. This is a 7 bottom, 7 side, set 8 going up because it's how big it has to be, height-wise. I don't know why it's like that. It's a little weird, but important things to note is that, I forgot to show the recipe for all these. Reactor casings requires uranium blocks, graphite blocks, and iron blocks, which isn't too hard. The reactor control rod requires uranium, reactor casings, and redstone. Terminal requires an ultimate singularity. This is how you make those. It's not terribly hard to make it since you only need one chest and all these things to make the reactor casings, and then power tap is reactor casings and redstone blocks. Now, important thing to note is we cannot just turn this on and put in stuff. This will overheat and possibly cause massive damage. We have to put something in called a coolant. There are several things we can use as this. The best ones being, okay, I guess we don't have that. Cryo. We do not have cryothium. We have resonant ender, which can be used as a coolant. The other options are diamonds, which are also just as good. So, you're either going to dump them in. I guess you can't really drop... Oh, I guess this doesn't have a physical form. So, I guess it is just diamonds then. But it's a learning experience for everyone. So, you're just going to go down each individual one of these. You have to do it this way. Granted, if you have the transmutation table, all that stuff set up, I mean, you should, because this is a late game process to begin with. You're going to go down all these. Boop, doop, doop, doop. And you're going to make sure that every single one of these chambers has a diamond in it. This is crucial because if you don't, this will overheat and potentially explode and cause massive amounts of damage. By the way, you can use reactor glass to make the entire thing see-through. Very aesthetically pleasing. It is very cool to look at from the outside. And I think that is every single one. We are missing just this one. You can use a builder's wand to just build up each one of those after that, and then you just have to make sure that you cap these off with reactor casing. So bonk, 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 bonk. Oops, missed. Bonk, 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 and bonk. Fully finishes out the reactor. And then all you have to do after that point, obviously, is you're just going to take a hopper, make sure one of these is an outport, put the hopper in, put the chest on top, grab a bit of uranium, like so. Now this has a much higher capacity. This is going to be storing a lot of fuel. Like, you need a ton for this bad boy. But, turn it on, this will generate... the heat is too high. But it is generating a ton of RF. So, obviously, I guess diamonds for this size isn't going to be enough, but it is good for others. Let's see. I'm going to go find which thing you should be using then for coolant. Alright, so the things that I've currently put on here are ludicrite blocks, which should be actively making it not as bad. I don't know what's going to happen when the reactivity gets too high, but it looks like it's rocking about 400 something. The current issue that we face with this whole setup is that while it is floating just roughly around 400, I think this is safe. We generate actually too much power that we don't use. Because I've made these things right here, power cells, which I can actually show you later. This is the better way to store power. There are also ways to wirelessly transfer power. There's also a whole new setup for how to make these even better. Preferably with like a ton of these little cubes around it, because I think each one of these ludicrite blocks actually does end up helping you out. Cyanite is the thing you're going to be needing. Cyanite is made by simply putting cyanite dust, which is made with sand and uranium dust, which is just pulverizing uranium, into a thing called a cyanite processor, which is then used to make plutonium, which is weird. I don't 100% understand it, but it's how it works. And then you use plutonium to make ludicrite, which requires... You make ludicrite blocks, which requires emeralds, plutonium, pearls, and other stars. And you can use these to drastically cool down your arrays. Now, there are better ways to build these. Example being, you can just make it a lot wider and put more ludicrite blocks around it, because I feel like this doesn't actually care about the general size of it, so putting more stuff inside them, probably a better idea. But as you can see, we are generating way too much power that we are not going to be needing, and the heat is actually holding steady. So I do believe maybe the heat doesn't actually do anything. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a bit since I've used it. But that's why we have tests, like for you all. So if you find any more issues with the reactors or anything else not working with them, please feel free to let me know, or at Kean somewhere. I don't know, I think he has an issues report page. And leave a like, subscribe, comment down below if you found this helpful at all for how to make a generator, reactor, and if you want to learn how to do power wirelessly so you can share with all your friends, or just how to store it better, let me know. So see ya, and love ya. Bye.